The Galactic Transit Station Omega-7 was the largest trading hub in the Outer Rim territories. Ships from hundreds of species docked there every day. Merchants sold rare minerals. Diplomats held secret meetings. Travelers rested before long journeys. The station had strict rules about weapons and violence. Security officers from the Volanti species patrolled every corridor. They were tall beings with 4 arms and excellent hearing. Nothing escaped their notice. Security Chief Torvin had worked on Omega-7 for 15 cycles. He thought he had seen everything. Strange cargo, stranger passengers, fights between rival species. But nothing prepared him for what he discovered on Level 47, Section C. He was doing his routine night patrol when he turned a corner and stopped immediately. His 4 hands reached for his stun weapon. In front of him stood 12 Crithani warriors in full battle armor. The Crithani were one of the most feared species in the galaxy. They stood over 8 feet tall. Their skin was like dark stone. They had claws that could tear through metal. They were known as mercenaries and assassins. No one hired Crithani unless they wanted someone dead. And here were 12 of them, standing perfectly still in front of a simple room door. Torvin's heart beat fast. He activated his communication device to call for backup, but then he noticed something strange. The Crithani were not moving. They were not threatening anyone. They simply stood in a protective formation around the door, like guards, like protectors. This made no sense. Crithani did not protect, they destroyed. Torvin slowly approached. The Crithani watched him, but did not attack. One of them, the largest, nodded slightly in greeting. This confused Torvan even more. He checked the room registry on his data pad. The room was assigned to a human named Marcus Chen. Humans were relatively new to the galactic community. They were considered weak, short-lived, and unremarkable. Why would 12 Crithani warriors guard a human? Torvin gathered his courage and spoke. He asked the Crithani why they were here. Why were they guarding this door? Station rules did not allow armed guards without permission. The large Crithani looked at him with something like amusement. Then the warrior said something that changed everything Torvin understood about humans. The Crithani said they were repaying a debt of honor. They were here because the human inside that room had saved their entire clan from extinction 3 years ago. Torvin did not understand. How could one human save an entire Crithani clan? Humans were small and fragile. They lived barely 100 years. They had no natural weapons, no armor, no special abilities. The galaxy considered them one of the weakest species. The Crithani warrior told the story. 3 years ago, their clan was dying. A disease had spread through their home world. It was killing their children first, then the elderly. The Crithani had no medical knowledge for this sickness. Their species valued strength and combat, not science. They sent messages to many advanced species asking for help. All refused. The Volanti said the disease was not their concern. The Morvathi said helping the Crithani would waste resources. The Syndicate said the Crithani could not afford their prices. Then the message reached a human medical station. It was a small research ship with only 12 crew members. The ship's doctor was Marcus Chen. He read the Crithani request. His captain said they should ignore it. The Crithani were dangerous. The disease could kill humans too. There was no benefit in helping them. No one would reward them. The risk was too high. Marcus Chen disagreed. He said that children were dying. That should be enough reason. He said he became a doctor to save lives, not to calculate if those lives were worth saving. The captain refused to change course, so Marcus Chen did something no one expected. He took a small shuttle by himself. He stole medical supplies from the ship's storage. He flew alone to the Crithani home world. When he arrived, the Crithani almost killed him. They did not trust outsiders, especially weak little humans. But Marcus Chen stood before their war council without fear. He was small. He was alone. He had no weapons, but he did not run. He told them he could help. He just needed time and access to their sick people. The clan leader laughed. He said if the human failed, they would eat him. Marcus Chen simply nodded and got to work. For 6 weeks, Marcus Chen barely slept. He studied the disease. He tested samples. He worked in conditions that would kill most humans. The Krathani world was too hot for human comfort. The air was thin. The food was toxic to his species. He survived on supplements he brought with him. When those ran out, he ate less. He grew thin and weak. But he never stopped working. The Krathani watched him with confusion. They did not understand why he tried so hard. What did he gain from this? There was no payment, no reward, no glory, just endless work and suffering. Some Krathani started bringing him water, then food that was safe for humans. Small gestures they had never shown to outsiders before. After 6 weeks, Marcus Chen found the cure. It was a simple treatment once he understood the disease. He saved 4,000 Krathani children. He saved 2,000 elderly clan members. He stopped a plague that would have destroyed the entire clan within a year. When the work was done, Marcus Chen collapsed from exhaustion. He nearly died himself. His body was damaged from the harsh conditions. He would carry health problems for the rest of his life. The Krathani clan leader came to his bedside. For the first time in Krathani history, a war leader bowed to an outsider. He asked Marcus Chen what he wanted in return. Land? Wealth? Warriors to serve him? Marcus Chen said he wanted nothing. He said he was a doctor. This was his job. The clan leader did not understand. In Krathani culture, all debts must be repaid. Honor demanded it. Marcus Chen smiled weakly and said maybe they could share a meal together sometime. He said he had learned a little about Krathani cooking. Perhaps they could teach him more. The clan leader was shocked. This human had saved their entire future generation, and he asked for a meal and friendship in return. At that moment, the Krathani decided something. They would protect this human forever. Their children would protect his children. For as long as the Krathani existed, no harm would ever come to Marcus Chen. Torvin stood in the corridor speechless. The Krathani warrior finished the story. Now Marcus Chen was attending a medical conference on the station. The Krathani heard about it. They came to guard him. Not because he asked. He did not even know they were there. They came because honor demanded it, because he had guarded them when no one else would. Torvin walked past the Krathani guards. He knocked on the door. A tired-looking human opened it. Marcus Chen was older now. He had gray in his hair. His hands shook slightly from the damage his body had suffered, but his eyes were kind. Torvin asked him about the warriors outside. Did he know they were there? Marcus Chen looked surprised. He stepped into the corridor and saw the 12 Krathani. His face changed. He walked up to the largest warrior and spoke a greeting in the Krathani language. The warrior's stone face cracked into something like a smile. They clasped arms in the Krathani way. Marcus Chen turned to Torvin. He said these were his friends. They did not need to be here. He was fine. The Krathani warrior shook his head. He said they would always be here, wherever Marcus Chen went, until their last breath. Torvin understood something that night. The galaxy measured strength in weapons and armies, in ships and technology, in natural abilities and lifespan. By those measures, humans were weak, but Torvin realized those measurements were wrong. Humans had something rarer, something more powerful. They had the strength to care about strangers, to risk everything for people they did not know, to guard those who could never repay them, and those who receive such guarding, they remember forever. They become the army that humans never asked for, but always deserved. Security Chief Torvin added a note to the station records that night. It said that the Krathani were authorized to guard Section C for as long as needed. No further questions required. The galaxy would learn slowly what Torvin learned that night. Humans were not weak. They were the species that turned enemies into family, and that made them the most powerful force in the universe.